John, welcome to the podcast studio.
Hello,
I am delighted to have you here. This came from a conversation, I think, with yourself and Rose, and it was like, hey, we need to get you on the podcast. We need to hear all about AlfaGov. We need to dive deep. So excited to have you in the room today. So founder of AlfaGov and a fantastic member to the Ormo Labs community. We're delighted to have you here. You've been here with us, I think, is it 3 months?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Feels like a lot shorter, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, January's almost over, and
True.
It's usually the slowest month of the year.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely has been, but just kind of evaporated, and here we are, almost Feb.
Well, you have been an amazing energy in the room, youth space. I know you've connected with a lot of the community members already in this space, which is super awesome and what we love to see also. So I suppose diving in a wee bit, and I actually really enjoyed looking into a bit of your history before I came and sat here today. So tell me a wee bit about how does a professional rugby player end up being the founder of an AI native consulting platform?
Right. Yeah. So we were kind of joking about this before. This is like John 3.0. So yeah, it's a long story, but essentially, when I left school, I was fortunate enough to get involved in the Ulster Academy. Spent 3 years there. Progressed on the senior squad as a development player for a couple of years. Never kind of broke through. Was always just around the environment, which was really great. Learned a lot, and was studying part-time doing geography at Queen's. So, geography is one of those degrees where, no offense to any geography listeners, you kind of don't know what you're going to do. You're either going to be a teacher or whatever, But that sort of exposure to a professional sport environment was kind of a bit of a dream come true, obviously. I was kind of 5 or 6 when I first said to my dad, I want to be a professional rugby player. I was fortunate enough to sign on the dotted line. And
that's pretty awesome.
It's good. Really, really great. Really learned a lot. And you don't I suppose one of the things for me is you don't learn the lessons almost while you're going through the experience. It's almost like after, and you reflect on it and you're like, oh, I've learned this, I've learned that, and now I can apply this to other areas.
Yeah.
So for me, as like I was saying, I never kind of broke through into the senior team, but kind of was around the environment, as I say. Just couldn't keep myself fit. It's an occupational hazard. Was injured all the time. So, which in hindsight, I'm kind of glad that I didn't have a long professional career, because who knows what shape I'd be sitting in here like 15 years later. So yeah, I left Ulster, had my degree, finished my degree after that, and then kind of in Belfast, I would say quite limited in terms of the opportunities that you have if you're not, going to be a doctor, lawyer, or whatever. You basically have a few choices. I saw there was a grad scheme at one of the big 4 consultancies, and applied there as a tech consultant. Spent 2 years doing that sort of training. Got great exposure, different clients, different sort of industries and whatnot. And really just kind of immerse myself in that environment. Yeah. Which was also, if you think of professional sport as a high-performing environment, that environment is high-performing in a different way. There's a lot of expectations. The standard of people is amazing. Met some really fantastic people, built some really great relationships, and stayed there for pretty much 9 years by the time I left.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a real journey, to be honest. Lots of ups and downs. And I think, probably a lot of people relate to this, but within those organizations, you kind of reach an inflection point where you're going to be in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
And I was sort of in that middle of the organization, having some thoughts around what I want to do, what matters to me. And basically moved on in April 2020. We're 2026, 2025. Spent the summer with my family, and then from September, then got my teeth into AlfaGov, and that's where I'm at today.
What do you think was the moment for you that you were like, okay, hey, I actually want to start building something? Was it that April 25, or was it before then? Was it always? It
was a little bit of a journey. So for probably the last 2 years, I've been first of all, a personal interest in AI, right? So. Sure. In the earlier models of ChatGPT, when they came out, I was like, wow, this is, it was obviously not what it is today. Yeah.
But still trying to wrap my head around what it is today.
Yeah, well, who isn't? Yeah. I think anyone who says he's got that figured out, is definitely not telling the truth. But for me, I was kind of interested in my personal life, using it quite a bit. And then when I had access to it in work, I was, from day one, straight onto it, leveraging it, to kind of help me do my work
Yeah.
better, faster.
So
and
was it when you were in that consultancy role that you were really then diving into that, what that AI, how that could support what that next piece
from
looked like?
from a delivery perspective with clients, you know, it wasn't that we were we weren't developing AI solutions or anything like that.
Yeah.
This was just like me as an interest having access to a tool, making my work better, basically.
Yeah.
And then I started to see the potential for it disrupting an industry, and then I started to see potential for how it could actually, all my work was in public sector, so within government.
Yeah.
And then I started to see you have the pressures of government that you know, sort of do more with less money, all those types of converging forces, and then this technology that has the real potential to change and transform that. And that was sort of the spark within me to be like, there's definitely something in this that you know, and there's opportunity to explore.
Yeah.
So.
Like you were actively solving a problem at that time. Yeah. Awesome. So I suppose we've sort of looked at the sort of the past and sort of how that shaped who you are. Now we're in January 2026. In simple terms, what is AlfaGov?
So maybe just make it real for people. So within we all know people who are on waiting lists. We all know people who are maybe needing access to mental health care or, you know, special educational needs. There's more schools need to be built, right? And you contrast that demand for public service and demand for new services and improved services, right, against the kind of the work that it takes to actually see, you know, the ground being broken for a new school or for new equipment at a hospital to be delivered, right? There is billions of pounds spent by the government before anything actually changes or transforms on the front line, right? And that work in the the preamble to anything getting done is very expensive, right? So it costs billions of pounds and is quite slow, takes a long time, right?
Sure.
And AlfaGov essentially is a platform that helps government accelerate through that process so that they can do it faster and cheaper, so that they would spend less of that money in the upfront piece before transformation is actually delivered.
Yeah.
So do that piece faster and cheaper.
Okay. Wow.
That's it in a nutshell in terms of that's the problem I want to solve.
Yeah.
And then how I do that then is through the platform and leveraging AI.
And so you've been on this journey now for the last year effectively and building it out.
Yeah. Well, I would say since September. So
Wow,
I'm like,
it's very fresh.
So the suppose the idea crystallized at that point, but you know, I suppose would class myself as an AI founder building an AI tool.
Yeah.
And you hear this a lot, but you can do so much so fast.
Yeah.
And it is insane.
Yeah, I have learned that a lot. And I suppose my next question was kind of how do you navigate this world when there's so much evolving in the world of AI, like as a founder who's very new to it, trying to understand everything?
Yeah. Well, I think it goes back to as an individual, you know, I'm quite inquisitive, I'm curious, I'm open to learn, right? And I think if you have those traits, then you can kind of immerse yourself in something, figure out what's good, figure out what's not working, and kind of, you know, learn as you go. The challenge, I suppose, with AI is it's moving so fast and you can't quite keep up. You know, that is hard. And I always thought, you know, the kind of background that I have in consulting was varied. So I wasn't like a techie, right? So I work with technical teams. And then I did some business analysis, I did some product. So I always sat like right in the middle. And, you know, I spoke to a few people, but I almost thought it was the curse of a generalist. Like I don't know very much about a specific domain. I know a lot about, you know, I know something about many different domains. But actually then when you throw AI into the mix of that and you're trying to build something, it's a bit of a superpower in that sense, because you then have, you know, your experience, you've got enough to know when it's kind of leading you astray. But then it also just helps you to get stuff done faster across a lot of different domains. So I find it really helpful in terms of my experience. So I'm in this like unique space where didn't think that being a generalist was a good thing. It's actually where I'm at today. It's a strength, I would say.
Yeah, no, absolutely, totally agree. I suppose for where AlfaGov is right now, what supports or would you feel like you need right now at this point to take AlfaGov to the next stage? And what does that stage look like for you?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So I was at the Techstars event last Thursday, which was unreal.
Good plug to Techstars there.
Yeah,
we love
absolutely.
It's an awesome partnership.
To see so many people in the room, curious, etc., and just the vibe and energy was pretty awesome. But one of the things I took away listening to John Bradford was, about his journey was marked by people who just kind of gave, and that's something that he modeled himself. He said yes before kind of asking for anything in return. And thankfully, I've been the beneficiary of people who, 2 or 3 individuals in particular who are investing in me and helping me kind of navigate the journey, and to be honest, they are, they're not, I'm not even in the same league, they are just paying it forward. And I'm so thankful for those people, so having that sort of, I think what it comes down to, Amy, is it's about relationship, and being able to build relationships, but genuine relationship, not just, transactional, with an agenda. It's just like, I need some help. Can you help me?
Yeah.
And that's been really great. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here at Ormo Labs, because, I've got, good domain expertise. I've got 10 years, almost 10 years of experience in public sector, etc. I know that really well.
Yeah.
But as a founder, I mean, in the fake it till you make it mood, so
we have to do that though, don't we? We have to fully fake. I fake it every day.
So those relationships, here, and the people are great, and I just love hearing stories. Like, there are some amazing people around, it's just unreal. And a privilege to be part of. So those relationships have been really important and will be really important going forward, and looking forward to meeting more people, etc. And then obviously the 2 programs that are on the horizon, Techstars and Founder Labs as well. So I think, alluding to that sort of, me as a person need whacked into shape as a credible founder, will be really important for me, and also for the networking effects and those relationships, so it's all going very exciting, to be honest.
It is. And like that, I started this podcast off today saying about how much energy you bring to this space and to the community. So I feel like while you say, hey, like, I'm curious and I love that people want to give first in this space, like, you very much do that as well. You don't even realize it. And the support, I suppose, and my next question was going to touch in on the whole, being part of Ormo Labs and what drew you to that piece. And I feel like you've maybe just answered that question before I've even asked it, which is super awesome. But that piece around giving first, and we're here as part of a community to really support the founders and give them that wraparound support. And it's like, hey, if we don't know the answer, we'll know somebody who then we can connect you in with, because that's what we're about. We want to see founders grow, and then to the point where you can then give back and pass that forward on to somebody else.
No, it's interesting. I mean, to be honest, when I started in September on my own, having had a nice time over the summer with family, which was really great. That was actually really good, because founder mode it's all go, and it's quite demanding. So nice to come from a place of rest. But then I found I'd worked remotely before, right, with teams and whatnot. And I am a bit of a people person. I am quite extroverted. But I find it really hard being, the kind of founder only employee.
Sure.
And I was working.
That must have been a massive transition.
Right. I need to get around people here.
Yeah.
And then, you guys were my first port of call, to be honest. And yes, it's a great decision, to be honest. So plug for anyone that's listening. If you're feeling lonely, get around people, and this is a great place to be.
Oh, my goodness. That is very nice to hear. But we do.
You can get me a coffee later.
It's so interesting, because Chris Wilson used to always say to me, founders, they work day and night. There's no time to rest. It's always go, go, go. And it is pretty true, but we got to make time. And I think the lovely thing in this space is there's always community, and there's always people in the kitchen boiling the kettle. So it's like, if you need to take a step back, it's like, hey, we've got you, you know, exactly. which is super awesome. Look, this has been super awesome to hear a wee bit more about you, your journey, your experience here at Ormo Labs, what AlfaGov means to you, and what it means to those that it's going to support. A couple of quick fire rounds. You don't know these questions. I always do this. I always finish my podcast off with these quick fire rounds to just get a real flavour of the person sitting in front of me. So we'll hit you with the first one. Rugby or consulting, which one was the one that really got you and made you think, I want to build something, and got you ready for startup life?
Oh, that's chicken and egg. Rugby. Consulting, which one was the one that really got you and made you think, I want to build something, and got you ready for startup life? Oh, that's chicken and egg. Rugby. I would say, I have to say both. Right, so rugby. I can't do quick fire. Rugby.
Because you're so extroverted.
Rugby got me the stuff that's inside me,
Sure.
you know, kind of the motivation, the drive, the competitiveness,
Yeah.
and the resilience and all that sort of stuff, right? That put that into me, right? The consulting environment, you know, so the other side of me then is that real curious, explorative side,
Yeah.
you know, so then, and both combined, I think set me up for where I am.
Okay, cool. One tool or support that you've used or are using to really help you build out AlfaGov?
Oh, it has to be Claude Code, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. I hear that so much. I'm like, Claude is the one me and Rosie, we really need to get our AI on. And we need to learn all about these because we're at the early stage of ChatGPT. So we need to get we need to grow our mindset here.
Yeah.
Final question from me. Sorry, we'll go 2 questions. Let's do 2 questions. What does the next year look like for you in AlfaGov?
So over the, I suppose, next year, prove the concept and scale fast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. That is good. Final one. Do you have a daily ritual when you come into Ormo Labs?
Daily ritual. I mean, if I make it to my alarm and not get woken by a kid, that's a win.
Woo.
First thing, you know, I'm not, you know, wait 20 minutes before I have caffeine. The first thing I go for is coffee.
Love it. We always do a nice plug to Napoleon.
Do you think? Yes. Yeah. One thing I do every day before I come in is go to the gym. I get my training in early because you don't know what the day's going to hold.
Sets you up, sure.
Sets me up for the day. So then I come in here and it's, you know,
awesome.
Down to it.
Brilliant. John, this has been such a pleasure. I feel like I've got to know you a little bit more. Our listeners will get to hear you a bit more, and hopefully you've brought that infectious energy and personality that we love to have in this space.
It's been good. But one thing I would say just before we finish is, I don't know if this is just, you know, because I'm new to the environment or new to the kind of ecosystem, but like I just feel like the expectation level around is really good at the minute. And you know, I think we were saying I sometimes like to go for a run around Titanic Quarter, and you know, the scale of the buildings, etc., are really huge there. And it reminds me that one time big things came from Belfast. And it just feels like around the startup world at the minute, and especially here in Belfast, you know, expectations are kind of rising. It's just really exciting, and I'm buzzing to be a part of it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a really nice place to finish.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Cheers, Amy.
Thank you.